Hello to all lovers of fashion and Italian elegance. I'm delighted to welcome you back on Brandibay Fashion, as we take a closer look at a runway show that beautifully captures the subtle sophistication of understated luxury. Today we're exploring the Tods Autumn-Winter 2026 show, presented in Milan, a collection that confirms the very interesting evolution of the house under the creative direction of Matteo Tamburini. Since arriving at Tods, Tamburini has been patiently building a very coherent aesthetic language. He often refers to what he calls the Italian signature, a concept that reflects not only artisanal craftsmanship and the quality of materials, but also a kind of natural, almost instinctive elegance. From the very first silhouettes, it becomes clear that this collection focuses above all on materials and garment construction, rather than on spectacular effects. Leather, of course, remains the core element of Tods' identity. What feels particularly interesting this season is the way it has been treated. Some jackets feature leather that appears intentionally patinated and slightly creased, almost as if the material had already lived a life of its own. Personally, I really appreciate this approach because it gives luxury a more authentic and tactile dimension. It almost feels as though each garment already carries a story. You will also notice several pieces that introduce a rather unexpected artistic element. Some scarf dresses feature graphic compositions created with the intarsia technique, while other silhouettes seem to evoke winter landscapes. These visual references bring a very distinctive atmosphere to the runway, at times almost cinematic. The silhouette itself also becomes a space for experimentation. Tamburini juxtaposes enveloping volumes with much more precise pieces. Oversized trench coats create a sense of protection, almost like a cocooning layer, while certain stretch-wool trousers follow the line of the legs with remarkable precision. This contrast between protection and structure creates a very interesting balance throughout the collection. Materials naturally play a central role. Pony hair, which has been making a comeback on several Milan runways this season, appears here on coats, capes, and even on certain sneakers. This tactile richness reinforces the impression that the entire collection is built around a dialogue between tradition and modernity. The color palette remains very coherent and warmly toned. Natural shades such as burnt caramel, ginger, and chocolate dominate the runway, punctuated by graphic black and white contrasts. This restrained palette allows the textures and craftsmanship of the garments to truly stand out. Accessories also play an important role in the show. Several of the house's iconic bags appear in new versions with beautifully refined artisanal finishes. Some details even allow for personalization through metallic letters applied to belts, an idea that reflects today's desire to express identity through the objects we wear. Personally, I feel that this collection confirms the very solid direction Matteo Tamburini is establishing at Tods. The strength of the show lies in its coherence, the quality of the materials, and this very controlled elegance. On the other hand, some viewers might wish for a little more visual boldness in certain silhouettes. But this sense of restraint is also part of the house's DNA, where elegance is often built through subtlety. I now wish you a wonderful viewing for the rest of the show. And of course, I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this interpretation of the Italian signature proposed by Tods this season? Feel free to share your impressions in the comments. Thank you for spending these few minutes with me on Brandibay Fashion, and as always, take care and keep exploring fashion with curiosity.